Despite Anthony Davis leaving this game with an apparent injury, despite the fact that the Lakers were down the vast majority of this game and have relied on Anthony Davis to be an MVP caliber player every single game, it was all hands on deck, and the Los Angeles Lakers were able to come out with a come-from-behind win, blow out the Toronto Raptors 123-103, and it took every single player on the court to step up and get it done. Welcome to Lakers Digest. My name is Hunter Pitcoff, and we cover everything surrounding your Los Angeles Lakers. If you have not already, guys, subscribe to the channels to say that you are first to do it, because our views, they've been going up recently. Our subscriber count's been going up, but only 17% of you guys are subscribed. Typically, this number's a little bit higher, but we have a lot of new people checking out the content. So if you are new, if this is the first time, one of the first times you guys have ever watched, you like the content we put out, you love your purple and gold, just stop right now, subscribe to the channel to keep up with everything here as we get into today's topic of the video. No AD, no problem, and the Los Angeles Lakers are able to win. So this is what we know so far as of this recording revolving Anthony Davis and his status going forward. Jovan Buha, as well as Mike Trudell. Jovan Buha, a reporter who covers the Lakers for The Athletic, and then Mike Trudell, who covers the Lakers for Spectrum Sports and is the main sideline reporter for local broadcasts. Both of them saying that Anthony Davis suffered a left eye injury, and he did not return to tonight's game. That was directly from the Lakers. And so we don't necessarily know the extent. I was actually just listening to JJ Redick and his press conference, post-game press conference, and he right now, as of this recording, does not know it either. So, last, things up in the air. He's had eye injuries before, so we know this. I was listening to the post-game for Spectrum Sports, and then they're talking about, hey, should he wear protective eyewear or goggles or something like that? Well, I'm not going to speculate about all of that. We're going to talk about what we know. We know that Anthony Davis got poked in the eye by Jakob Poeltl on a, I believe it was a drive to the basket, or was trying to clean up the glass. And so he went down, wasn't getting up, ended up going to the locker room in the third quarter, and then ultimately he did not come back in the game. That's what we know. So we're not going to speculate. We'll give you updates here on Lakers Digest if anything comes up, but we are going to focus on some bigger storylines also in this game, because I think we learned a lot about the Lakers in this game, despite the fact that they didn't have their best player, arguably their best player, before all the LeBron stands come after me in the comments. Next man up mentality. It took not just the Anthony Davis show or the LeBron show to win this one. It took everybody. And I think that's what the most impressive thing about this win was. Anthony Davis obviously did his thing, 22 points in just 26 minutes, got to the foul line, super efficient, hit 2 threes as well. But Anthony Davis is your anchor on this team, especially defensively. And when he's off the court, this team falls apart. But look at everybody else who had awesome games. LeBron with a triple-double there, 19 points, 16 assists. Man, was a dimer, and 10 rebounds in this one. Cam Reddish, I thought, was awesome on both ends of the floor. If you can get 11 points out of Cam Reddish, I consider that a win. If you can get to 8 to 11 points per game, that's a massive win, especially if Cam Reddish is going to continue to be in the starting lineup, which has been, so far, a pretty successful route that JJ Redick has done. And the first big move he's made as a head coach of the Lakers, benching Max Christie, who got a 4-year extension, which I'm not sure Rob Pelinka and the front office are happy about that, but in my opinion, it was the right move, and so far the Lakers are 2-0 since they've done it. But other guys stepping up big too. D'Angelo Russell in his 6-man role finished with 15 points in this one. Jackson Hayes, 12 points. Thought he did a really admirable job relieving Anthony Davis. Gabe Vincent, 5 points. I thought he had some really good defensive possessions as well. Cardio Gabe at least did something, which is good. And then Austin Reaves, man. 27 points, 10 to 17 from the field. And he had, 2 or 5 points at halftime? So this was all pretty much in the second half. He scored most of his buckets. And Austin Reaves continues to have just a phenomenal season for the Lakers. I feel like, and Austin actually talked about it, he loves the hard coaching that JJ Redick is. And there's been the reports out there that he's been breaking clipboards in practice and he's screaming. You see it at the sidelines. He's extremely animated. He's vocal. I feel like his hair is becoming more and more gray every time I see him. But all jokes aside, Austin Reaves is someone who loves the hard coaching. And from a personality standpoint, I think your team, any team, takes on the personality of your best player or players and your coach. And since the best players of the Lakers have been the same since 2019 with LeBron James and Anthony Davis, we know how they are. JJ Redick's been the biggest difference. And Darvin Ham was a much more nonchalant, very calm, cool demeanor kind of guy. And JJ Redick is fiery, passionate. He's screaming. He's throwing temper tantrums on the sidelines. Like, I love it. I think the Lakers have responded well to guys like that. They've also responded well to guys like Phil Jackson, who's very, cool, nonchalant. So, but a guy like Pat Riley or JJ Redick, like, Laker fans like that. They like to see a coach that actually cares. And I'm not saying Darvin Ham didn't care, but JJ Redick, just seeing that fire and that passion, how bad he wants this and how bad he wants to win. Laker fans want that, and I think that they needed that kind of culture shift because I just don't think that they're really getting that from a coach or anyone in the front office for a very, very long time. And so I think JJ brings that. It's probably why they like the guy like Dan Hurley because he's also a little bit similar like that, maybe even crazier than JJ Redick is at this point in their careers. But this was overall just a very nice team effort win. And I know you're going to say this, look, Hunter, it's the Toronto Raptors. They're not that good. They didn't have Scotty Barnes in this game. No Bruce Brown in this game. Grady Dick didn't have 30 points like he did in the first game against the Lakers. It's the Raptors. And I will say, yes, they're not a great team. They're a few years away, I think. And I like some of the young talent, but they're not a great team. But I've been saying it, and we saw it on the road trip, right? You have to put the bad teams away. And the Lakers struggled to do that against a team like the Detroit Pistons, who are actually playing pretty solid basketball right now, to their credit. But they put the Sixers away, despite the fact that Embiid did not play, suspended, and Paul George on a minutes restriction. He just came back from an injury. Oh, and Tyrese Maxey didn't play in that game either. But they won by double digits. They put him away. But that's what the Lakers did in the second half of this one. It was a team effort. Everyone stepped up. I don't know if I'm going to say this was the best win of the season. I think the Suns win was probably the best win, just being down that much and coming back. Definitely really, really exciting as a Laker fan. But I think this was the most complete win, where it really felt like everybody on the court contributed somehow. Whether it was Dalton Connect hitting the three that gave them the lead, whether it was some good defense by the rookie Connect, Gabe Vincent playing some good defense and hitting some nice shots, D'Angelo Russell continuing to thrive as the sixth man on this team, Cam Reddish on both ends of the court really fitting in nicely with the starting five and really carving out a role for himself, despite the fact that he was out of the rotation to start the year. Jackson Hayes doing an admirable job, again, getting dunks, putbacks, getting to the foul line, putting the pressure on the Raptors in the paint with his activity. That's all you can ask from a backup big man. And I'm not going to sit here and say that Jackson Hayes is the long-term answer. I still think they need to find someone who's a little bit more of a bruiser, but do I think he could be a rotation guy and someone that you can rely on in spot minutes? Yes. And in the event that Anthony Davis ever misses time, you need to have that reassurance behind you. And there's no Christian Wood. We don't know when he's going to be back from his knee surgery. Could be sometime this month. It could even be next month. We're not 100% sure. But Jackson Hayes, we know he's right now healthy, and he's been that guy. LeBron James and Austin Reaves continue to be really good. Not a great game for Rui Hachimura in terms of the stat department, but I thought he had some really nice defensive possessions. He did a really good job on the glass, cleaning up, especially on the offensive glass and boxing out and keeping plays alive. And the Lakers were getting absolutely murdered on the glass. I think it was 24-9 at some point. The Raptors were out-rebounding the Lakers, and they ended up only losing the rebound battle by 7. So the Lakers cleaned it up. They started crashing the glass more, keeping possessions alive, or, not letting the Raptors keep their possessions alive. Because like I said, that the second chance points, the Raptors were up by a lot at one point in that game. So the Lakers cleaned it up in the second half. Obviously, you don't want to see this every single game. It was a close game. It was never out of reach, but the Lakers really pulled away in the end. And ultimately, I guess the final question is, will they actually keep this up? That I don't know. That I don't know, because now they have a game. Their next game is going to be this Wednesday against the Memphis Grizzlies. I believe that game is at 10 o'clock, if I'm not mistaken, East Coast. I feel bad, guys, because I know a lot of you probably on the West Coast watching this. Most Laker fans are. I'm from New York. I'm from Long Island, so I'm on the East Coast, so I'm always going off my time. But 7 p.m. Pacific time for those of you watching on the West Coast, or maybe even overseas. You might have to do your conversions there. But the Lakers, they got the Grizzlies. They lost to them last time they played, just actually about a week ago. Not to quote Bobby Shmurda, but I'd be making myself laugh too much doing these. But they did not have Anthony Davis in that one. He did not play. LeBron was phenomenal. That was it. So the Lakers definitely want to get a bounce back against them. I'm sick and tired of the Grizzlies. That team talks way too much for a team that's done literally nothing in the NBA, despite having a couple good regular seasons. So I hope AD can play. I hope the Lakers are ready for that one. I hope they lay a smackdown on the Memphis Grizzlies. But again, guys, a 20-point victory for your LA Lakers over the Toronto Raptors. LeBronto reigns supreme, a triple-double. I think they said his record was like 40, I guess it's like 42 and like 13 against them. Like, this guy has owned the Raptors his entire career. No one has scored more points against the Toronto Raptors in the history of their franchise than LeBron. It wasn't even close. I think he was like 400 points ahead of the next guy, which was like, I think it was like Allen Iverson, or I think like Dwayne Wade and like Ray Allen were on that list. Like, LeBron was so far ahead, it wasn't even close. So LeBronto reigns supreme. The Lakers beat the Raptors, and they advance to 6-4 through 10 games. A pretty nice pace, especially the fact that they are undefeated at home, 1-4 on the road. You hope that cleans up a bit, and that they are starting to get a bit of momentum. 2-game win streak, not too bad. And then they got the Memphis Grizzlies on Wednesday night. And we'll definitely keep you up to date between now and then here on Lakers Digest.